RD owes me a phone call. You rang Earl and he's going to have a coffee with Earl. Mate, we're 15% stake each. That's our 30%. I didn't get a phone call.
Yeah.
You know, so, mate.
He knows you got the shits, mate. He's going to know by probably Monday when we launch this bad boy too.
Mate, but I don't mind that either. I'm not scared, mate. We look funny.
Mate, this bloke here's, buddy, he was the chief investigator for Ivan Milat. He's told more stories of criminals and bullshitters and lies in his whole life. Like he's the master of being able to read through. If you spend some time with him.
Read through the bullshit.
Yeah. Read
Mate,
through.
I did text RD and said you two are coming on, so there's an opportunity to come back, and I sent him a pair of boxing gloves. And
we're gonna host a celebrity boxing match. So
what you should do is get the three of us on.
Oh, that's right.
See, that would be good.
We're going to put that to him. Don't worry about that.
But mate, in short, like you know, in reality is I'm a little bit disappointed. But in joke, mate, look, we were at the pits today, and Jess and Chris were there from Chev.
Yep.
You know, and they're like, "Oh man, sorry." We're like, "Mate, well, don't be sorry. We're loving it." You know, like it's all good. It's just
Listen,
sport.
It's like going for a swim in the ocean, right? You want to swim in a lake, it's flat. You want to go out in the surf, yes, there's a few dumpers.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get a good wave, sometimes you don't. It's all
good.
okay. And as they say, you know, cowboys don't cry, especially in front of their horse. It's okay. So all of us need to sit here and just take a couple of deep breaths.
What about...
And so even getting back to, you know, contractual obligations. We have a contract.
Yep.
We'll decide whether we want to enforce it, but it's in our favour. And you know, why would we enforce it? Maybe we'd enforce it because of some of the bad behaviour, and that's for ringing our drivers. Thanks very much.
Yeah.
Maybe we won't. People will ring us. I'm sure, you know, Supercars will ring and say, "Oh, it's bad for the sport. What are you doing? Let them go." Well, we signed it's a commercial decision between us and an employee that's chosen to leave. And it's in the contract for a reason. If it wasn't meant to be in the contract, then it wouldn't be.
Yeah.
So maybe GM should have thought that through, or JJ should have. And he's a fine person, and maybe he is the person in the middle, but that's okay. It's not the first time. We're all big boys, and we'll see how it all plays out. It'll be fun.
I'd argue it's good for the sport. We're here talking about it, which is always a positive.
No, look, it is, mate. And look, I think too, like, mate, you know, Earl went up, we signed all the people over, but no one wants to go anywhere. But, mate, we've got a really, really exciting program ahead of us in the next few years that's going to be fantastic for our team.
It's
and,
huge.
Know, everyone's excited about it. So it's not all about the money and the ringing this and ringing that. And look, mate, no offence to anybody else, but, mate, I rang you one day and said, "Oh, would you, you know, go and drive for a team?" And you went, "I wouldn't drive for that team," you know, like, because why would I leave Triple Eight to do something like that? Of course you wouldn't do it, you know, like, so, you know, sure you can offer people a little bit of money, but a lot of the people in this sport, mate, are in it because they love it. And they're passionate about it.
And we want to be competitive. Like the job that, you know, when you mentioned to me, it was the full-time thing. And it's like, there's no way I'd rather turn up to 2 weeks a year with a chance of a result than 12 with, but the thing that just quickly, I wanted to actually the engine program, because that surprised me. I really did think we had a big chat about the engine program on the pod. And I thought from a Supercars perspective, to be honest, it almost makes sense that everyone's got the same engine builder, because there's no like an engine builder doesn't care which block wins. He's going to put the same effort into all of them, and it makes them even. I thought it was an odd call that this has happened, and it's now going to. I've heard that GM, pretty good, has said no way to this and upped their investment there to make sure that this has happened. But where does it leave you guys with the Ford engine program now? What's that look like?
Well, Joby, just Scotty, just step back one step, right, with KRE. From the day we did this deal with Ford, we knew there was a strong chance that could occur, right? More than likely that was going to occur.
Right.
That set off a chain in motion, right? So the engine is the catalyst for most of the things that have occurred, because at the end of the day, Kenny's an engine builder, a fantastic engine builder. He's someone who's had a relationship with this team for a long, long time. You know, we couldn't move sideways without at least offering to take him. It makes good commercial sense in our opinion to do it, but in the event we knew that there'd be a lot of objection to it.
Yeah.
The problem was Kenny builds engines, we provide the technical support. So if you took Kenny away as an exclusive deal, they needed someone
to do the technical support.
To do the technical support, which is where JJ comes from, right? And there's no problem with that. Look, mate, you know, there's no hard feelings, certainly with us and Kenny. Like, he's a fantastic person. You know, and so, and no hard feelings realistically about, you know, them finding someone to give him technical support. Like, makes perfect sense, but that's what
and a better guy
motion.
you won't find. Like, JJ is going to spend a portion of his time in GT3 in the United States, contracted to GM apparently, and then going to help with the engine side and the homologation.
Yep.
Phenomenal guy. He was like intricately involved in that with Peter Ringwood from our team as well. A better guy you won't find. And I think, you know, at the end of the day, if you look at the other GM teams, there's a lot of intellectual horsepower in there. If you look at Brad Jones, he's been around the sport for a long time, and like that guy can bloody build and engineer cars. I think Barry, like, unbelievable. Like, you just have to look at some of the stats that he's won on, you know what I mean, as a sort of team.
Yeah.
And, you know, you look at Matt Stone, probably a little bit underfunded. They punch well above their weight. Like, that guy knows how to build cars. And
he's got the knowledge from Jimmy, his old man, as well. He's been around for 100 days. So
between them, they'll be able to cobble it together.
Yeah.
I think Roland, you know, if you believe the rumours, it's going to Premier, and Roland's sort of, you know, behind that. And, you know, everyone, you know, I think is probably of that belief that, yeah, that's fine. They haven't gone overly well as a team if you look at results, although, you know, bloody Peter's put everything into it, as frustratingly so as I reckon it would be for him.
Yeah.
Put millions and millions of dollars into it, and that guy's a winner.
Yep.
You know, Peter's Everest is a winner. I got no doubt that team at some point is going to win. With Roland, without Roland, Peter will put the magic pudding together. He's a winner in business. He's a winner in what he did with drags, and he's put too much into this thing not to come out the other end. So I think, you know, to have someone there as like Roland as an advisor to the homologation team, I think is fantastic for GM. It'll be fantastic for the GM teams and fantastic for GM. And to have someone of the quality of JJ helping and advising, absolutely, you know, it's in great hands. For us, as Steve said, we're business people, right? So the first thing you do in business whenever you do something like this is you look at the front door. That's very exciting. But let's look at the back door. What could go wrong? And so for us, we were always running a dual program. One was bringing the engine program in-house. The other was KRE. We always knew that some of the owners would arc up, you know, like Ryan did. He's got his view. We think that probably a little bit like you, putting it all, Jamie's very much of the strong view, and he expressed it.
Just everyone should.
Well, it's economies of scales too. If you put it in the wrong, if you put it all under the one roof, it lowers the cost of the engines, which what everyone's trying to do.
It's also quality control too, because we touched on one of our shows. Yep, economy of scale, it saves money for everyone, but also, one, it stops all the background bullshit talk about parity and stuff like that. It's coming out of the same shop.
Yeah.
They don't care, as you said, which block wins. Quality control, because they need that business owner needs all those cars to be reliable, those engines to be reliable. So I thought, like you guys are saying, that it would make sense, but obviously with Toyota going down the route they're going to go. And
Well, then I had heard that, Craig Haystead, whether true or not, is building the Toyota engine, which is an odd one because I thought Walkinshaw would be doing that out of their own shop. But so the Ford program, is that something you're looking at taking in-house then?
Yeah, well, I think it was Jamie announced it yesterday, but we have been planning for it from January. So the moment we made it, we were running a dual process. We thought that there was a possibility that Supercars could have objected to us doing it. GM could have objected to it, and Kenny could have as well. Kenny originally said, yes, I'd be keen for it, but let's see what our other stakeholders feel. And we always felt that, you know, it could go that he sticks with GM, or GM puts pressure on, or all those sorts of things. So we ran exactly the same program, right? What's it look like in-house? Who do we need? What do we need to get? And interestingly, I think Jamie made a statement yesterday, made an announcement about we're bringing it in-house, even though we've been planning it for 6 weeks. Right. And again, the phone lit up. You know, next minute there's 30 texts coming in from bloody engine people all around the world. You know, is there an opportunity? We want to be involved. And that's, I think, because of Triple Eight's race engineering's history. So
the reputation you guys have globally, as you said, is you'd be mad not to. And we chatted about before you guys came in. I said, I didn't know that you guys had announced it was in the house, but I said they'd be mad not to, because, as you said, you can just go through the Rolodex of the best engine builders in the world, and if you pick 5 of them, probably most of them are going to say, I'm open to this, let's have a chat.
Yeah.
And you do it in-house.
Peter Ringwood was basically doing all the mapping anyway with Kenny, or KRE. You know, I think it'd be fine. He probably knows more about it than me. I can only go by the confidence, and when I speak to guys like Dutto, you know, who's fantastic, and you know, Gooey, Chris, and what do you think? And Jamie, who the one thing with Jamie, as you would know, working the team, you know, we're very blessed to have probably, if he's not the greatest of all time, he's in the top 3 advising and helping the drivers. He can speak to them from a level that nobody else can in pit lane, I don't believe. Any of the other team owners, he can actually pull Will or Brock or yourself and say, mate, I've been there, done it. And he's modern and relevant, like he's still racing and just as competitive. So when you look at a guy like that and say, what do you think? Yeah, no problem. No problem.
Yeah.
So they're rock solid.
I think that's exciting. Like,
And Jamie's honest to a T, mate. Like if you ask Jamie a question, you're getting an honest answer.
Yeah.
There's no black and white. It's either we can or we can't. And he says we can, we can.
he doesn't seem like a bullshitter to me.
No, he's
Like,
definitely
not.
I don't know him well at all, but from
Honest
the
to a
side,
T, mate.
He
Honest
seems
to
like
a
a
T.
straight shooter. So
No, there's one thing with Jamie, and in all of our dealings, absolutely straight as a gun barrel.
It's really enjoyable to chat to you guys it's a totally different conversation than we've normally had. And hopefully we've said this about Ryan's story as well. Like you probably feel like we're grilling you here. We have so many questions, but it'd be great to have other, because obviously I'm exposed to you guys and it was an easy conversation to ask, can you come on the pod? It'd be great to have other teams as well and get their perspective on the lay of the land because it's so educational.
Who, I don't know, what's the involvement with his uncle and his father? Are they undercapitalised? How do they actually do so good? Like they won races in the last couple of years. They're competitive.
Cam Hill was third today behind him.
How strong was that?
Unbelievable.
Like incredible. So, and you sit there and you go, they got some smart brains, led by him. He's probably half of it. Under the hood, doing unbelievable work. Yeah. Unbelievable work.
Paul Forger, who I think's a great engineer too. Like he was at SBR when Ambrose was dominating.
And we all see what happens on track. It's great to hear some of the stuff going on behind the scenes. Triple A is unique, I guess, in that the engineering arm's so big outside of motorsport.
Yeah, I love hearing the business side too because we quite often talk to drivers. We've driven ourselves and stuff like that. But I love hearing from you guys that have, the white collar side of the motorsport world, like how it works. I just find that super intriguing. And listening to you, Earl, you can tell that you deal with some things in your day-to-day world at Sherwin Partners because none of this stuff seems to be phasing you. As you say, you're like, bring it on. I deal with this shit every day. This is, I think that's great. And Steve, obviously, your expertise.
I've been in my court case before just quietly and I've had my tail bloody between my legs and walked out. And I've had plenty of times where I've walked out there high-fiving and you become a bit of a bush lawyer after a while. And in our business, intellectual property, stealing of intellectual property, confidentiality agreements maybe potentially be breached and you've got to go and get subpoenas or whatever it might be, checking computers and phone records and paying for all that data to be cleansed in our world. And when you're buying and selling businesses, which is what my world is, that's standard practice.
Yeah.
And and it's quite interesting. You raise it to a few people and they sort of start getting a bit misty-eyed and, that's not fair. Well, hang on, mate. It's not fair. It's legal. You're allowed to do it and it's proper and right. And guess what? If nothing wrong's been done, then it'll all be shown
you don't have a problem.
The case. Yeah. So it's all okay. Don't worry. We're the ones spending the money. So
I love that.
That's what you've got to do. And that's not... This is a business, and it's a big money business. Every one of those teams is spending somewhere between 5 to 10, 12 million bucks to keep their teams alive. This is not bottle tops. It's real money. It's real sponsorships. It's real wages and salaries. And they're little businesses within themselves that it's a serious game. And we're all, at the end of the day, want to win on the racetrack. We're all racers. We want to win. That's in the DNA of every person up and down pit lane. And let's be honest, half the teams steal each other's sponsors. They go from one to the other. Everyone's doing, and it's stealing each other's drivers, mechanics, and it's in every single vernacular of motorsport worldwide. It's nothing new, and you got to play the game tough. And as we say in our business, choose your weapon. We're okay, whichever weapon you want to choose, bare knuckle, gloves, however you want to do it. We're up for it. Let's go.
And you're definitely not going to intimidate you, Steve.
No,
mate. It's all it's good, and mate, it's
good fun.
It is good fun, mate. To be honest with you, it's good fun. And mate, look, I'm a brawler. I don't mind, what it is. I'm not afraid to say what I've got to say. People don't have to agree with me. They can put shit on me, do whatever they like. I don't really care.
That's the most important thing. Is no one has to agree with anyone.
No.
We can all have our own. That's why we have this podcast.
No. And mate, look, to be honest, this is the absolute God's honest truth, mate. We've been kissed on the you-know-what by a fairy, mate. We bought into a team that is the best team in Australian motorsport history. And however it all came about, and we're there. And so we talk like, we're the greatest team, but we're trying to come lately. We led there 6 months ago. But I'll make the point that, mate, last year was probably, having Jamie as the CEO, but running the team and doing everything, mate, I think we scored the most amount of points that the team's ever scored in its history last year, and the gap between us and second was, whatever it was. And so Jamie, the team, I went back the other day and I was reading some old articles, and people were, I think it was folks or someone was, had written some stuff about RD, and, you're saying, now RD's handing it over Jamie, is it all going to go downhill? And, so, and I think the Sleuth wrote something the other day, is this all going to happen? It doesn't happen. And the reason it's not really, mate, because of us, but you go in there and you're part of it. You see it.
Steve.
The best people.
There's depth.
Don't
There's depth.
spoil that. It's because of that.
Well, we did points last year. You say it is you guys.
Yeah,
We did actually say to them when we won the championship at the end of last year, and they said, "Isn't it fantastic winning the championship?" I said, "Guys, we won a champion last year. You
we're
remember
back to
that?"
back.
You guys, you haven't lost one yet.
Yeah, we're back to back.
You're
We're
actually the only ones last year in the team that were back-to-back champs.
That's right.
But